I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I didn't even ask why. When I found out she cheated, I smiled. And then I quietly planned how to take away the one thing she cared about more than me, her perfect reputation. And when the night finally came, she didn't just lose me. She lost everything. If you've ever been lied to by someone you trusted with your whole heart, if you've ever wanted justice without losing your soul, then hit that like button and get ready. Because this isn't a story about shouting or slamming doors. It's about quiet, calculated revenge. Served at the dinner table. When I found the receipt, it was just another Tuesday. A simple, crumpled piece of paper tucked in the pocket of her jacket. Dinner for two. A bottle of wine that cost more than our weekly groceries. And the date, 3 days before my birthday. I stared at it for a long time. Long enough for my coffee to go cold. There was no name, of course. But there was handwriting on the back, hers. A little heart. A thank you note. She always left those for me after our dates. Only this time, it wasn't for me. That's the moment something inside me quietly broke. The 3 days of silence. For 3 days, I said nothing. I walked through the house like a ghost, trying not to startle the living. She'd come home humming, showering, talking about her big project at work. And I'd nod, pretending to listen, counting every lie between her words. At night, I slept on the couch. I told her it was because of my back pain. In truth, I just couldn't stand the smell of her perfume on the sheets anymore. I spent those nights staring at the ceiling, feeling every heartbeat echo in the dark. It wasn't anger, not yet. It was disbelief. The kind that eats at you quietly, asking, "How could you do this to me?" By the third night, I stopped asking. I knew what I had to do. Wine glass the dinner invite. On the fourth day, she came home glowing. That kind of glow people get when they think they've fooled the world. "Hey," she said, "I was thinking, let's have some people over this weekend. I got the promotion." Her eyes were bright. Her tone rehearsed. She wanted to celebrate. And that's when it hit me, she didn't just want a party. She wanted a stage. Her friends, our friends, her coworkers, the people who believed she was perfect. That was her real audience. So I smiled. "Of course," I said. "I'll grab some wine." The calm before the storm. The next few days were a blur of fake laughter and real planning. While she decorated and texted her friends, I built something else. A storybook. 5 years of our life together, printed and bound in a photo album. Each page a memory, vacations, birthdays, anniversaries. And tucked between those pages? Receipts. Screenshots. The truth she thought she deleted. I didn't plan to yell. I didn't want chaos. I wanted silence, the kind that burns deeper than words ever could. Fork and knife with late the dinner party. Saturday came like any other evening. But the air felt heavier, like the house knew what was coming. She wore that red dress I bought her last Christmas. The one she said made her feel unstoppable. Our friends arrived one by one, carrying laughter and wine. The dining table was a crime scene dressed in candles and flowers. And through it all, I smiled. The kind of smile that hurts your jaw because it's fighting back everything you want to say. Dinner went perfectly. Too perfectly. She was radiant, performing her role to perfection. The charming hostess, the loving partner. If they only knew. Mantelpiece clocked the toast. Dessert came. And with it, my moment. I stood up, holding my glass. Before we dig in, I said, "There's something I want to say." The room quieted. She looked up at me, proud. Expectant. She thought I was about to brag about her promotion. I smiled. You know, trust is a funny thing. It takes years to build, but one tiny crack. I let my voice trail off. And the whole thing falls apart. A few confused chuckles. A nervous shift in her eyes. Then I pulled out the photo album. 5 years, I said. That's worth remembering, right? She nodded a little too quickly. I placed it on the table and slid it toward her. Why don't you start? The reveal. The first few pages drew smiles. "Ah, that trip to Chicago," one of her friends said. Another flipped to our old New Year's photo. Laughter. Nostalgia. Then the tone changed. One friend frowned. What's this?" Her eyes dropped to the receipts tucked between the photos. The same restaurant. The same dates. Then came the screenshot. Her text thread, printed in full color. Words she could never take back. The room went dead silent. Her face strained, the color fading like someone pulling a curtain across her soul. No shouting, no denials, just the sound of pages turning, and the quiet crack of her perfect image collapsing. Ice Cube aftermath. She left before dessert was even touched. Didn't say a word. Didn't even take her purse. Our friends stayed, frozen in disbelief. They said things like, "I'm so sorry, man." And she seemed so happy. I nodded. I didn't cry, because somehow I already had. When they left, the silence felt like a closing scene. Credits rolling over a love story that had finally ended. The next morning, I filed for separation, changed every password, and just breathed. I didn't post anything online. Didn't send the screenshots to her family. Didn't need to. That photo album had already rewritten our story, and everyone had read the ending she tried to hide. The cost of revenge. For a while, it felt good. Not happy, but right. Like I'd finally taken back control of something she stole from me. But a week later, the silence started to feel different. Empty. Cold. I realized I'd traded one kind of loneliness for another. The kind that doesn't sting, it just lingers. Because revenge, no matter how clean, doesn't heal you. It just balances the scale long enough for you to walk away. And maybe that's enough. Maybe sometimes the only closure you get is knowing you told the truth and did it without losing who you are. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. But maybe it's not about serving it cold. Maybe it's about serving it quietly. Because the loudest revenge is letting someone face themselves in silence. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button and tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? And of course, subscribe for more stories of justice, heartbreak, and redemption. Until next time, remember, the best revenge isn't anger, it's dignity.